This assessment asks us to suggest a mechanism for these two steps of this reaction. In the first step, we're going to use the sulfur lone pair of electrons to attack the carbonyl, kick electrons up onto oxygen. That's going to form a new intermediate, a new tetrahedral intermediate with an O- charge, the phosphate group, and the sulfur, and the bond to the new sulfur, which has a positive charge. The oxygen can use a lone pair of electrons to reform the carbonyl, and we can kick out our good leaving group to form another intermediate where we reform the carbonyl, and we have our carbon-sulfur bond, but sulfur still has an extra proton and a positive charge. So we can use the phosphates that we just kicked out to deprotonate the sulfur and neutralize our product. We can use one of the lone pairs on oxygen to grab this hydrogen and neutralize our product, forming our thioester. Now that we've formed this thioester, we can go to make puric acid. This will work in much the same way. We're going to start with this zwitterionic form of glycine. The first thing that's going to happen is we're going to revert back to the non-zwitterionic form of glycine, where both the oxygen and the nitrogen are neutral. That allows us to use a lone pair of electrons on nitrogen to attack the carbonyl carbon, kicking electrons up onto oxygen, forming a tetrahedral intermediate. We can then use a lone pair of electrons on oxygen to reform the carbonyl, kicking out the sulfur leaving group. That reforms the carbonyl, gets us close to our final product, except that nitrogen has an extra hydrogen and a positive charge. So we can use that sulfur that we just kicked out as a leaving group to act as a base and take this last hydrogen off of the nitrogen. This forms our desired product. This is a mechanism for these two steps of this reaction.